Amsterdam. Home to beautiful winding canals, historic museums and art galleries, melt-in-your-mouth cheeses, and awe-inspiring architecture. With such charm and character in this city, it's not hard to feel completely at home in Amsterdam. Amongst the quaint cafes and markets, friendly faces surround you, filling the air with smiles, joy, and laughter. But there's one very small, yet very beautiful thing that makes this city truly vibrant. Flowers. As one of the largest trading nations of flowers in the world, it's no wonder the Netherlands is such a positive country. From the abundant displays on canal bridges, tulip bouquets around every corner, and floral arrangements in shop windows, flowers are deeply rooted in Dutch culture. But where did this passion for flowers all begin? Is a bustling facility nestled in the outskirts of Amsterdam, Aalsmeer.
Welcome to Royal Floral Holland at our location in Aalsmeer. My name is Michel van Schie and I'm the spokesperson for Royal Floral Holland. I work here since a few years and it's a lovely business to work in. Royal Floral Holland is the biggest and most important marketplace of flowers and plants in the world. Our location in Aalsmeer, the distribution hall with the surroundings, is the third largest building in the world. It's 2 million square meters. It's the same size as the Principality of Monaco. In a year we sell approximately 12 billion products. There are more products than there are people on the planet. We have an annual turnover of 4.6 billion euros.
But with such a wide variety of flowers being shipped all over the world, one might ask, where do all these thousands of flowers come from? Well, there are actually only a few places in the world with the right climate and environment for flowers to flourish and support year-round growth. One of these places is Naivasha, Kenya. With its unique location, year-round sun, fertile soil and fresh water from Lake Naivasha, Kenya has the perfect conditions to grow some of the most breathtaking blooms. One in particular being the humble rose. Tall, colourful and delicately perfumed, the rose is quite precious and requires a lot of space and tender loving care from a community of growers, scientists and specialists. One of the most sought-after flowers globally, the business of roses can help provide financial security, economic stability and job opportunity for the people of Naivasha.
My name is Elizabeth Wajiko Owelu. I'm a general worker. I do harvest flowers and batch them for grading. My friend was living here in Naivasha, so at times I could call her and tell her, if one day you hear an opportunity in your farm, I wish you can tell me. So she called me one day and told me to come. When I arrived at the gate, there was a thousand of people like me. And I wondered, how could I get this job? I was having confidence because I knew I'm hardworking, and if I could get the job, I could work hard. When they called my name, it felt good to be in the company. My life for now, it is totally different from there before. Because I knew that I have no stress again, because I'll be able now to cater for my needs. So I was very happy to get the job.
Young ladies, how are you?
We are fine.
What are you doing right now?
We are removing suckers.
Okay.
Yeah.
We had a lot of suckers today.
Supervisors help manage the growth and packing of the crops and are responsible for ensuring workers deliver fresh roses to the aircraft daily.
Actually, what inspired me to opt for agriculture, because agriculture is the backbone in our country, that is Kenya. When I studied agriculture, I came across floriculture. So I was interested to know more about flowers. I've really worked in this company from 2004 up to date, and I'm glad because I've been growing. There's growth in this company. Our flowers are being sold in the UK supermarkets. For us, we do just anticipate that the flowers that we have sent to Europe, they are just using them to communicate that, like the red flowers, they use them for during the love season. When they love their moms, they they need their white roses, yeah, and the yellow one. In my team, for this year, we are set to produce 20 million stems at the end of this year. The main goal is to produce the quality flowers and be sold to Europe. When you harvest the flower, because it normally wilts faster and the vest life, it takes shorter. So you just harvest the flower, take it to the pack house, and immediately, the shortest time possible, they need to get the freight, then to Europe. The flower industry has really improved the livelihood of my team. The industry is giving them the opportunity to educate their children and their siblings.
When it comes to flower farming, however, it's not all plain sailing. There can be many challenges, which is why Dudu Tech employs special scientists and consultants to ensure the quality of flowers are consistent throughout the year.
My name is Cynthia Gatugi. I'm technical support in Dudu Tech. I work with growers to develop integrated pest management strategies. It helps them develop solutions that are sustainable to help them grow clean crops which are free from pests and diseases. Basically, now growers don't only look at chemicals as the only solution. There's a great focus in the use of biocontrol products. Pests don't develop resistance to biological products. Right now, we've started working with products that are extracts from natural products, like the garlic extract, which is an example.
Crop health is key for flowers, as it leads to greater yield and quality. However, farmers have to implement special systems to ensure the flowers can be shipped safely in a single aircraft. With great precision, seedlings are planted exactly 12 centimeters apart with special boring tools, so they can grow taller with thinner stems. This means more roses can be packed onto the aircraft and stems can be cut to length to ensure nutrients feed the plant during its travels. Once the flowers have been packed and delivered to the airport, they're ready to take flight. Flown in continuous temperature-controlled environments, the delicate buds are able to stay fresh right up until they're delivered to their final destination. Although flown all over the world, many of the flowers destined for Europe end up here at Maastricht-Aachen Airport.
My name is Jos Roeven and I'm the CEO of Maastricht-Aachen Airport. Emirates is our largest customer when it comes to flower import On a daily basis, we see about 125 tons of flowers coming into Maastricht. Let's say the average load coming in on an Emirates freighter is about 90 tons. We offload the airplane and immediately locate the units on a fast track, going straight into the truck for a speedy process. So I think a very efficient procedure to handle these flowers. Technology, innovative of what we invested here. We have state-of-the-art cooling facilities, and we are capable to cool an entire 777 freighter in our cooling facilities. All of our cooling rooms have recorders and alarm systems. Flowers normally stay between 2 and 8 degrees Celsius, and if they deviate more than 1 or 2 degrees, we get an alarm and we can take our measures. The distance from the airplane, let's say, to the truck door is probably no more than 70, 80 meters. We have a fast track. We have sufficient truck docks, so we can load 4 trucks simultaneously. I think the key in the quality of flower transportation is more in the procedures. So in Maastricht we also have quite efficient Dutch customs, that will do the utmost not to delay any logistic flows. So we're talking about pre-clearance, customs selections for inspections are made hours before the airplane lands. I think fantastic cooperation with all stakeholders in the transport chain. Yeah, just to give you an example, the Emirates flight is coming in daily at 6:15 local time, and the last truck going to the auction is leaving at 7:30. So I think a lot of integrators in this world would be jealous for such a product. The flower traffic, a substantial part is going to the auction in Aalsmeer, which is about a 2.5-hour drive. I think air cargo impacted the flower business massively. I think it's an example for many other commodities, how processes work with flower transportation. And I think it has to do partly with innovation and technology. I think the majority is in the people that are involved. All the stakeholders cooperate very well together, good communication, everything ready in advance, so pre-clearance, pre-customs selections, paperless transportation, road feeder service companies waiting prior airplane arrival. So it's really like an oiled machine. Flowers are being cut in the evening in Africa, for example, and they are the next day before noon they are in the auction here in Aalsmeer. I think that's amazing, really remarkable.
The possibilities of air cargo has made a major contribution to the world of flowers, because now it's possible to bring the flowers in a very short time from the farms in Africa to our marketplace in Holland. The demand for the flowers from Africa is big. They will be sold in a day in the Netherlands. The role of Royal Flora Holland is to have a very efficient process of selling and buying. When the flowers arrive, they are owned by the grower, and when they leave, they are owned by the buyer, and they are never owned by us. We only facilitate the process, and we facilitate the distribution and transport of the flowers within our premises.
Aalsmeer is the central trading centre for all flowers that arrive in Europe. With millions of flowers and plants coming through the facility every day, specialist trading systems and processes have been put in place.
Welcome to the auction of Royal Flora Holland. I'm Erik Wassenaar. I'm one of the auctioneers and I'm specialized in roses. I work now for 36 years in Flora Holland. More than 20 years I'm an auctioneer. We are standing here in one of the largest rose cool store of Europe, you can say. One of the rose cooling areas. If we speak about this auction room, we have 2 auction rooms. This one and also below this auction room, we are standing on the first floor. We can store here 10,000 trolleys. And we keep it cool at 2 degrees or 4 degrees or 6 degrees. It depends on the flowers that we have. Each flower has another cool chain. I think there stands here 300,000 buckets of roses. And in each bucket there can be 50 stems. So make your number. So the buyer must know where to find it, and we make it quite easy for him. He can look up in the system when the rose will be auctioned, from which grower, from which country. He can mark that, and when the auction is coming, when the lot is coming in the auction that he has marked, he will get a signal so he knows, okay, I must go over there on that clock, I must over that clock. Because if you look around over here, be my guest and look for your flowers. So it's a lot of flowers, a lot of movement. That's the world of flowers in Aalsmeer. A lot of roses are produced by Dutch growers, but more stems than Dutch growers than Dutch stems are from import growers, from Kenya, Ethiopia and global. We store from all over the world the roses over here and we auction them the next day. If I know a flower will be 50 cents, I start the clock at 80 cents, the clock will go down from value, from 80, 70, 60. When a buyer thinks, hey, 50 cents is my price, he stops the clock, he says to me how many bucks he wants to have. I give him the part of the lot, and I go on until the lot is done. And then I start another lot. Each hour, we make approximately 1,500 to 1,800 transactions. And each year, we sell 3.3 billion roses from the 12 billion products that we auction in Floral Holland. We have 30 auction clocks, total, whole Floral Holland, and we have 4,500 buyers, but they're sitting worldwide. In the old days, they were sitting in the auction room, in the dealing room. Now they're sitting everywhere in Europe, but also global, and buying by internet and my clock. So I can have lots of buyers. So the buying force is very high, and it's increasing still.
Royal Floral Holland, its predecessors, existed more than 100 years. And in the old days, buyers came to our location. There they bought their products in the auction room. That has been going on for decades. With the entrance of the internet, that made it possible to trade also online. The buyers are sitting in their offices, maybe in Dubai or in Paris or London, wherever they are in the world, and they can take part in the action process. That had a major influence for the trade of flowers and plants, because the market has become the whole world.
The roses, all flowers are unique, and every flower has its own price. It depends on the color, it depends on the length of the stems. It depends on what's today, what's the anniversary. Is it a Valentine? A Valentine, the red roses are going up in price. Mother's Day, the white, the pink, everything is going up in price. When the demand is low and ask is high, the price will go up. It's like oil, it's like air freight trading, you know. I know by experience which rose is higher in price, who gets the best value out of it. These roses were coming in yesterday midday or last night. We store them, we keep them cool at 2 degrees. We auction them and then they go to the customer. And the time is really quick because time is key. It must be fresh. We must keep the chain as short as possible. So when it's auctions, they go on the distribution system. We bring it to the customers and they distribute it all over the world to the clients. Air freight has changed the global trading of roses. Many years before, we only have Dutch roses. We only have Dutch products. Maybe from some Europe, what men can drive by car. But now it's global by air freight because every grower can reach us. If I speak of roses, I cannot imagine that there was not air freight anymore. More than half stems are coming from import countries. For the business, it's life support.
Our main task is to be as efficient as possible for our clients. We have a very efficient distribution process and try to bring the flowers as quickly as possible at the buyer's place. We have every day more than 250 drivers that pick up the trolleys and bring them to the places where they are collected. We start at 6 o'clock with the auction, and maybe at 11 o'clock the products are delivered at the buyer's place.
While many of the flowers sold at Aalsmeer end up in supermarkets and flower shops across Europe, There's also a booming business within the corporate and celebrational design space. From luxury weddings, hotel lobbies to high-end fashion shoots, installations can be incredibly extravagant, with some of the biggest brand names in the world hiring specialist floral designers like Alexander to handcraft their creative works of art.
I got into this business when I was a young boy. I played a lot of nature and I really love nature. From all the schools that I could choose from, I chose agricultural school because that had a lot to do with nature. I started to do floristry, not because I really loved it, but I just liked it. I wanted to do something fun, something I enjoyed. I started noticing that you can also travel if you're a good florist. Once I started traveling to different countries, then I noticed that a florist in, for example, Australia is really different than here in Amsterdam. You're more like, you can be like a celebrity almost. And here in the Netherlands, you're just, a florist, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I think it's okay. But the experience when you have when you're 18, to be like, wow, you're a florist, that's so amazing. And then from there on in Melbourne, we did as a team for the florist that I work for, also these really cool things. Then I just like it, this is it. This is what I want to become. I don't need to think about anything else that I would like to do. And it's a beautiful product. And you make people happy most of the time. My inspiration, it comes from nature, which is kind of all around me most of the time. And I try to capture really beautiful moments that I see. And I have them in my memory, and I try to use them on the right moment. Our flowers come from Aalsmeer, the most amount. And from there, they just come from all over the world. From Kenya, Japan also has amazing flowers, but Kenya, beautiful roses and lots of other flowers. They have beautiful roses, because the season is a lot better sometimes than here in the Netherlands, then you can use them and import them through the air cargo system. Well, we made a garden. It was all about the light in that garden. That we made a secret garden, and it needs to look, of course, amazing. And I used the memory that I was on a holiday in Kenya, and when the sun went down, all the dry grasses, they turned into gold. So when I saw the light again on the location where we need to work, then the first thing that popped into my mind was, hey, Kenya, this beautiful light, and turned everything into gold. Yeah, we need to create this beautiful garden, and then when the light hits the leaves, it needs to just be gold. And that was like, at that moment, was a very important thing about what satisfied us to create this thing. And that's also part of the memory, that you see something and it's so powerful that you want to use it again. And it's never the same, I think. It's just the moment is the best thing. But at least it kind of came from there that you need to do that, because that's the desire that you have to recreate. And then when people see it, like, you want to look at their faces and see what happens if they also, if you can recognize the mimics on their face that you felt as well. I think if people say, like, just create something beautiful, that's not enough. We really need to have a story from the customer to transfer emotion into a colorful bouquet. And I think that's very important, how we do business, from the smallest bouquet until the really big installations. It doesn't matter. The basic thing is always the same.
A way to say, I love you, thank you, congratulations, or I'm sorry.
The Dutch have a special interest in flowers. I think there are not many countries where you can find a flower shop or kiosk nearly every corner of the street. Flowers bring that extra piece of joy when you're in your living room. My wife buys flowers every week, and she picks her own bouquet when she goes to the flower shop and knows exactly which flowers should take part in that bouquet, and then she's happy, and when she's happy, I'm happy.
Flowers are a universal way to tell a story and make people smile, without having to say a word. And thanks to a more efficient, cleaner, and sustainable way of growing and transporting flowers, we can now look forward to brightening up our homes and our lives for generations to come.